In video 2, we will look at Dotmocracy, the why. Significantly, every school organization, community group, or business I've worked with pose a fundamental question. How do we involve our employees or stakeholders in a meaningful way to maximize support for decision making? Is there a model that works? If you're anything like me, you went through many failed attempts. Typically, I'd set up an open meeting with all of my stakeholders or employees in attendance, generally a room where everyone was there and had an opportunity to speak. Very quickly, it turned into a few people captivating the airtime and most of the audience sitting on their hands. A lot of people with good ideas are not comfortable speaking in a public session, so their opinions and suggestions never get tabled or discussed, even when you hold several similar public forums. The whole thing ends up in frustration. So, in order to at least get something accomplished, you fall into the trap of preparing a document to hand out that has no commitment from those who it will impact. In all likelihood, it will gather a lot of dust, or at the very best, be paid lip service. Let's take a look at what will work in terms of generating maximum interaction and maximum commitment. Dotmocracy, in terms of specifics, is a workshop and is based on the following principles, the why of it. The approach has to be bottom up and top down. Certainly, the leaders have the resources and the opportunity to set up next steps. However, the employees and stakeholders want to be part of the process. Those who are affected by any decision must be part of the decision making, or it's in vain, in my view. And those who are affected by any decision, of course, have to be able to share their ideas, opinions, and suggestions on an equal basis with all other stakeholders. Let's speak to the objectives and outcomes and the whys of Dotmocracy you should expect when you go down this road and set up potential workshops. You can see on the screen the objectives and the information that you glean and should glean from a workshop presentation on Dotmocracy. The first thing is to promote valuable feedback on the present operation. You basically have to know where you are in order to move forward. So, what's the present situation? Secondly, to provide stakeholders with equal opportunity to identify strengths and weaknesses using a balanced and open-end method. And this is key because it will give everyone the opportunity to place on the table their ideas, their suggestions, and their opinions. Thirdly, to gather data that can be used for the development of future goals and objectives. The data will have a positive effect for future planning because it's transparent and it's there and it's not lost. In the fourth point, organize the data into headings. You have to develop a set of themes or directions into which you can place the raw data so that you get a sense of the things that need to be accomplished to achieve success in planning. Finally, you identify areas of strength for growth and change. So, what does exist, and can it be improved? And finally, you raise awareness of the existing strengths and areas for change. The information you should glean from the Dotmocracy workshop or the outcomes will give you a better sense of what you hope to accomplish. You should end up with a detailed report that will outline the strengths, the areas for growth, the unmet needs, etc. And it should be organized under subheadings, very transparent, and available for everyone to be able to review and offer feedback. You should certainly have increased the awareness of everyone who took part of both strengths and areas for growth within the present program. So some things work well, some things need to be improved, and people need to see that transparently in order to move forward. A collection of raw data from stakeholder groups will give you an idea of the present status. So each group will have different thoughts and opinions once it's sorted out, but it will give you a sense of how they feel things are right now in terms of where you need to improve and where you can hold fast because things are working well. And finally, you'll get an appreciation for the benefits of collecting data. It is very important that people understand that only with data can you move forward and put together a positive response and a positive direction and a positive plan. It has to be gathered from all those who are going to be impacted by decisions, and they have to have the opportunity not only to share those, but also to be part of arriving at those solutions and decision making connected to planning.